let's go ahead and get started with what your name is, where you from, and how you got started with me as far as learning and
Yep,
stuff like that.
absolutely. So my name is Troy Bias. I've gotten started in the rental car industry for a little over a year now. When I first started, I was actually in the automotive industry. That's what pulled me towards it. And when I saw BR, I visited BR a couple times in Houston through a mutual friend. And with him killing it in the rental space, I naturally just fell into it, got my first car, naturally did his program, and just it's taken off and bloomed from there. I can't even stress it. I've gone from literally a 18-year-old, because at the time I was 18, I've gone from an 18-year-old with one car to now being just turned 20, and I've got over
Yeah,
25 pushing 30. So we're moving.
nah, for sure. So how much could you say you made in revenue last month alone, just with the cars?
Yeah, just with the cars, we're pushing 25K a month just in cars. And
Yeah.
that's counting just economy rentals. That's not even counting what I like to call as my wild cards, are like my Lamborghini, my Bentayga, my BMW i8. Those are my
Yeah.
wild cards, because if those get rented, cool, they get rented. If they don't get rented, we get to drive the years for the month, whatever. But I built such a strong foundation and such a strong backbone off just economy rentals, and I've really built that foundation to serve the Austin community. Like that's
Yeah.
really what's pushing consistent revenue through my business.
Nah, for sure. And you haven't even been doing it that long, to be honest.
No,
What, like a year or two?
not even. So it's been just shy of 9 months pushing rentals, like pushing
Okay.
the actual rental business. Because I was doing it on the side for like 3 months with that first Chevy Trax I bought, and I was doing that through Facebook. I just found a lady who needed the car, but
Mhm.
actually pushing my business, pushing rental cars here in Austin, dude, not even 9 months. Call it like eight and a half.
Yeah, so do you consider I know Austin, it's a big city, but it's a lot of people that complain about how small their city is and how hard it is to make money in a smaller city. What do you think about Austin compared to Houston and like small cities? Because that's a lot of people's like roadblock.
Yeah, so absolutely. So the first thing I want to knock down is anyone saying they can't make money regardless of the city you're in. I've
Yeah,
like everyone we're talking just the statistics alone within the United States. We're talking about $1 trillion market cap of just vehicle rentals alone, whether that's
right,
Hertz, Enterprise, private, peer to peer, whatever it is. There's over $1 trillion just in the rental market flowing. Now, city to city, like I don't know Houston, but I know Austin. Within the city of Austin, we have $33 million of annual rental revenue coming through the city. So that's just Austin. I'm not even counting Houston, Dallas,
right,
San Antonio, none of those other cities. So there is money to be made, and there's also people. No matter what, people will need a car, whether their
right,
car breaks down, whether they're looking to flash, events, birthdays, whatever it is. There are hundreds of people, and actually, within I was just talking with one of my joint venture partners as well. We have the like we're seeing that no matter how many cars we add to the fleet, we still have an influx in demand. Like we haven't even reached the
right,
top of what our city is even capable of. And also keep in mind, we're just marketing in West Austin. We haven't even targeted downtown. We haven't even targeted North Austin, but yet we're still pulling people from Killeen, South Austin, West Austin, East Austin. So within the city of Austin itself, there's 100% room to grow. Within the city of
yeah,
Austin, or within the city of Houston, Dallas, there's 110% cities to grow.
right,
And then also, if you look at any other city in the United States, there is always people who need cars. That's just the general principle. We're in the business
yep,
where we
you gotta
provide
travel.
people cars, and people travel, people need events. So to knock down that question of, oh, I'm in a small city, I'm in Killeen, I'm in
But I
Sugarland,
feel
I'm
like
in whatever.
the smallest cities do the best because it's easier to
Exactly.
be a authority in that city. I tell people that all the time, but yeah, okay, just to
Yep.
get some advice from somebody that's, not in a small city, but smaller than Houston.
and
And
that was and that was the biggest thing, is because when I went out to visit you, and when I came out back here to Austin, I was like, man, like part honestly, the initial hiccup of why I didn't start it sooner was actually that mindset. It was the mindset of
yeah,
like, hey man, BR's down in Houston, all his students are down in Houston. Like, man, like I don't want to be the kid that's on the phone asking BR like, hey, like, what cars do good here in Austin, because you're so established in Houston.
yeah,
But
it's
then when I
different.
took that leap of faith and just realized it's not the city, It's the principle, it's the business model. Dude, it's
Yeah.
expandable wherever. There's a
That's
reason
what I
why
tell
Hertz and
people.
Enterprise are all over the fucking United States. There's a reason.
Hmm. Yeah. So how many cars do you have in order to make 25 a month?
Currently, we're exactly 25. We're a 1-to-1 ratio.
25.
So
Yeah.
like, and that's on a slow month. Like last
But
month
you're a
we
lot
did,
of cash cars too, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah,
So
cash cars are like easy to get
primary
into.
focus is cash cars, and we're doing 25. Like our bottom line is 25. We've seen months where we did like, what was it? June we did 53. Just that's
Yeah.
because the Urus was jumping, the Bentayga was jumping, the i8 was jumping. Like those are my wild cards. Those are like, man,
Yeah.
shit, we just get extra profit with those.
Yeah, those are like I tell people all the time when it comes to rental cars, it's a market. So it's not always going to be like stupid income all the time. Like it's going to be slow seasons. Like right now, it's kind of a slow season, and then once we start picking up in the holidays, it's going to pick up. Then once we get towards summer, of course, that's when the Urus and the Bentayga is just going to just overflow with income. So that's pretty much how it is when it comes to the rental car space and those type of vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
So I know the economy cars can go year round for the most part, but
31 days out the month.
yeah, and that's easy ROI, return on investment for each car when it comes to purchasing those cash. So yeah, man, before you started the rental car stuff, what were you doing? Tell people what you were
I owned
doing.
an automotive shop. I owned an automotive shop. I did vehicle customization, but the thing is, and keep in mind, I've done every business model. I've worked a 9 to 5. I've been an entrepreneur. I've done everything, but
Uh,
I've never seen a business model that works based on a formula to where the formula is if you want more money, just add a car.
right,
I've never been in the service based industry that's like, because every service based industry, if you try to scale, like take my shop for example, my shop I can only fit 3 cars. I can only hire a certain amount of employees. I can only do this. And at the end of the day, no matter where I scaled it, there was going to be a bottleneck somewhere,
right.
right?
Yeah,
But with rental cars, if you want to just see your revenue grow, you just add another car.
right,
It's like I've never seen a business model as simple and as simplistic and so scalable. And then at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you also don't even need to come out of pocket. Like a lot of these cars you can finance for $0 down. The dealerships or banks will give it to you. Now you
right,
have $0 out of your own pocket, but a cash flowing, I call them cash flowing asset of $1,500 per month.
yeah.
You can't beat that.
For sure. And you can use funding. Like,
Yep.
companies like me, we get funding. That's how I get a lot of my students and vehicles and add it to my fleet is getting somebody funded,
Yep.
getting their credit repaired, and then once their credit is repaired, get them funded and then add a car to the fleet, to my fleet, or they can add their own car to their fleet. So let me ask you, how much did it cost to get your first car? A lot of people's issue is like down payment or you know, joint venture. I always tell people if you don't have any money, just go to joint venture route until your credit is fixed, because that might take a couple months. And then once the credit is fixed, you just go ahead and get funded and get the car. A lot of people don't even need to get funded, it's zero down. So
And if we want to go based off of, if you're like, oh, and for a lot of people, they're going to see me throw up the zero and they're be like, oh wait, no, that the math doesn't make sense. He was 18
yeah.
at the time. He barely had credit. So like, if we want to be factual and truthful, it cost me $75 of an Ava trade line to boost my credit to get $0 now. So call
Hmm.
it okay. Call my initial investment capital $79.
But that's at 18 years old. That's not even like somebody that's like my age, 24.
Nope.
So if you're 24 and you already have a little bit of history, you're good. You don't even need to do
Man,
that.
like I had zilch. My credit report was as clean as a baby's bottom. So like, and I still was able to. And what I did was I found the leverage of Carvana. If you go to some of these big dealerships, Carvana, CarMax, we're talking about dealerships that work direct with banks who want to give the money out. Like,
Right.
like Bridgecrest
Especially
was
if
the
you have
one
that
that
credit.
financed me. They didn't ask for any docs. They asked for 3 months bank statements on it. And but also at the same time, like keep in mind, I'm not targeting a Lamborghini Urus. I targeted a
Right.
Chevrolet Trax. I got a below 15K car, 4 door, white, easy to rent. So like a lot of these, a lot of these kids will want to, oh man, I want to do this because I want to go buy the C8 first round, or I want to go buy the McLaren first round. It's like, look, if you don't put the foundational building blocks first, just for at least my age group, I can't talk for the 24s, 23, 30s, but for my age
Yeah.
group, if they really want to get started, just set those foundational blocks, brother. There's no reason you can't scale it.
Yeah, I started the same way with Toyotas, and then I just
Yeah.
scaled my way up. But a lot of people don't understand it takes time to scale in the rental car space, especially if you're doing it like from the credit standpoint. Now, if you're just buying cash cars, you just take the money from the vehicles that were financed and buy the
Yep.
cash cars. It's a simple method. And I tell people all the time, they don't need money to start in the rental car space. Even if their credit is being repaired, you can just get joint ventures. And then those joint ventures just lead to more joint ventures, and then social media and ads, and like you said, put the building blocks in place to keep going to the next level. So
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much, how to get it going for anybody that needs to get started.
Absolutely. And in this in this economy, dude, credit is the leverage. The closer you can
Mhm.
get, like there's a saying by an old philosopher, if you give me a lever long enough, I can lift the world. It's the truth. If you leverage large amounts of money to create cash flowing assets, that's the way the economy wants to reward you.
It's
That's
a
the way the
no-brainer.
economy flows, and that's the way the banks flow. That's the way the world flows. It's just the truth. The richest people own assets and finance it or rent it to the poor. It's just the truth.
Facts. So when you got your first car, how long did it take until you got that first car rented out to start making money?
Two
2 days.
days. 2 days.
Right. With the
2 days
economy car too, right?
with an economy car. 6 month contract signed in 2 days.
Yeah, pretty simple. So, when was the point where you like, okay, this is what I'm gonna go full out into? Because you went from the automotive, the shop to rental cars. What made you want to say, okay, I'm sticking with the rental cars and keep going?
So, yep. So there was a day, right? It was when my payroll was. So it was a Thursday when I was doing my employees' payroll, and I was looking at my books for the month, right? And keep in mind, at this point, I'm doing TRXs, Lambos. I'm doing some of the craziest cars in Austin, and I'm looking at the books and I'm looking at the numbers, and I'm saying, okay, well, it cost me this amount of money in a wrap, this amount of money in wheels, this amount of money in this amount of money in payroll. And I'm looking, I'm saying like, okay, there's only like $2,000 left over for myself. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm seeing that. I'm just like, man, that don't sit right with me because I'm touching like my months, man. I was doing 110, 120, 130K per month with 2K left over for myself. I'm like, man, that's ridiculous. And then I look
Yeah.
over and I'm looking at this little cash card and she's paying every single morning. I'm like, hold on a second. Wait a second. It cost me $0 to get into it. I'm doing $65 a day pretty passively just through Cash App. Like, man,
Mm-hmm.
you're telling me if I build a system, build out a Google profile, build out this, you're telling me I can't scale this? Come on. That was
Facts.
that moment. That was the light bulb switch where I was like, dude, you need to jump off this ship and you need to go full port this thing.
Yeah, yeah, it's a no-brainer when you start making money with it, especially like you said, you just keep adding vehicles and it's simple. Get joint ventures, you might
That's it.
split percentage. Now, some cities might work better than other cities with the percentages, depending on how the market is, but it's very easy to scale. You get joint ventures, you use your credit, you use your cash to keep reinvesting.
Mm.
You have the systems and just keep building off of that. So, what was the hardest part of this journey and how did you overcome it? Was it insurance?
So yeah, the hardest part 100% for me was actually the organizational aspect of it.
Okay.
I'm naturally an unorganized person. I'm naturally
Yeah.
late to respond. I'm naturally things like that. So my biggest hurdle was the organization and the customer service aspect of it. Making
Hmm.
sure each invoice was sent each morning, making sure, if someone got a flat tire, they can call someone, and they have someone on the phone that they feel. And then also, like you said, bro, that insurance. I mean, I was
Yeah.
juggling that insurance for a second. But finally, once you just lock down the fundamentals of the business, you lock down what's right, what's wrong, who you're going to rent to, who you're not going to rent to. Whether
Right.
it's as easy as
It
one
gets
plus one
simple.
equals two. It gets super simple.
Facts. I don't want you to say the system, but is that CRM system helping? Like with
Dude.
the
It's
organization?
a game changer. Game
Facts.
changer. And then not only that, it organizes everything. And if you plug
All in
in
one
the right
place.
people, if you plug in the right people to manage that system, brother,
Hmm.
you see me, we're on a Zoom call. I'm working from home. It's 3:12 p.m. and I'm still getting invoices sent to me right now.
Right. Nah, that's what I tell people, man. All you need is that CRM. Once you got your marketing in place, your vehicles, just put that CRM in there and run the CRM, throw some VAs, one or two VAs and
I got two.
yeah.
And it doesn't even take much training. You give them a couple SOPs, couple playbooks, have a little daily meeting with them every morning at 9 a.m. And
Hmm.
brother, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Go about your day, go to the gym, go get more cars, go to the dealership, run cars to service. But other than that, man, like it's sunshine
Facts.
and
It's
rainbows.
it's you can automate it. So that brings me to the point, like how much work do you put in on a day-to-day basis with running 25 cars?
2 hours a day.
2 hours a day. No, that's I always tell people like when the cars are out, they're out until they come back. In
Yeah.
the economy cars, it's like if a car is rented out for a week, that's how it becomes passive. Now, once you start, I recommend people to get like business partners and stuff to join and help you run the business.
Mhm.
But let's say if you're spending 10 hours a week and you get a business partner, now you're spending five
Mhm.
and you just keep scaling the vehicles, but it's pretty simple to make it hands off considering
Yeah.
that these cars are out whenever they're out. Now, the luxury and exotic cars, that's a little bit different. Those might be going for a day, 2, 3 days, and then they come
Yeah,
back.
those are quick turnarounds. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but the economy cars, those are going almost, months at a time, sometimes weeks at a time. I know I had a Nissan Versa and a Jeep Cherokee. Those were going for a year each, and that year the car note, like the whole car payment was paid
Was
for.
paid for.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
whole vehicle was actually paid for. So, yeah, that's pretty much the automation side of it.
And that's exactly like you hit the nail on the head with like some of these economy cars. Like I've, it's a very, very, very occasional thing to buy a cash car and not see it ever again. Like it's happened to me 3 or 4 times. I've bought in a cash car, got it registered, gave it to mostly Uber and DoorDash people, and brother,
Yeah,
I never see those cars again. I send
you
them
don't have
money
to
for
worry
oil
about
changes.
maintenance.
Yeah, I send them money for oil changes, send them money for tires occasionally. And
Yep.
that's one thing I do a little bit differently. I take care of everything for that person. I try to make it a white glove service to
Right.
really help them out. And man, when I help them out, they help me out. It's smooth
Yeah.
sailing.
Yeah, facts. So, what are the best vehicles that you see fit for the Austin area?
So the Austin area right now, it used to be Teslas during the
Mhm.
summer, but right now we're doing tons of cash cars because there's an influx in Uber and DoorDash because we're in a city where it's pricey to live. So we have a lot of people doing Uber and DoorDash. But the biggest cash cars, Nissans, Toyotas, things like that. Mid luxuries, we're seeing Porsche SUVs and Mercedes CLAs or C300s.
Yep.
Luxury cars, we're seeing any nice luxury SUV. Urises, Bentegas, and even toying with the idea of a G Wagon or a GLE.
Yep.
Those are kind of the different ranges, and those are the best cars I'm seeing. So to repeat that again, for cash cars, I'm seeing Nissans and Toyotas. For mid
Mhm.
luxuries, I'm seeing Porsches and Mercedes, mid class Mercedes. And then luxury cars, of course, the Lamborghinis you can't go wrong with, and the Bentleys you can't go
That's
wrong
number
with.
one of all time. That yours number one
It's
of
it's a
all
cheat code. It's a cheat code. You can do
time.
30K a month off of it with the right marketing. It's a cheat
Yeah,
code. It's a literal cheat
easily.
code.
We have like four of them. Yours Perf. We have a Performante, a Yours. You have two Yours S, and then regular Yours, like 2019 Yours printing.
Yep.
Like you got
Yep.
like 50K miles, 60K miles printing.
Yep.
But it works. But now, back on that topic. So the Nissan, the Toyotas, those are pretty much best for any city. Doesn't matter what the city is. For us in
Doesn't
Houston,
doesn't matter who you are, where you're marketing.
it's
You
gonna
will
run.
always find someone in some scenario that needs a Nissan. No matter what.
Yep, facts. So down here in Houston, like you said, it was more so like out there, you can run a Bentley Bentayga, you can run a Porsche SUV, but out here, not so more the case. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell y'all why. And that's not the case because you're in Austin, it's more like older, rich
Older
people
people. Yep.
versus Houston, it's a mixture of everything. So you might as well just stick with the Urus instead of getting a Bentayga that only fits a class of older people versus a
Mm-hmm.
Urus. It could be any geographical, whatever the case is.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
So that's why I say I stick with like Mercedes. So GLEs, S580s, Those are pretty much the best mid-tier type of car, right? And then when it comes to exotics, obviously I mean, the C8 is pretty much
Yes.
it's people say it's exotic, luxury, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
C8s, those do good. Yours do good. Let me think. That's pretty much it for Houston. So I usually just stick to Mercedes and Lambo.
And that's a great point. And those exact cars, if you notice, you can drop those in any city and they would pretty much do well. Those are the cars that I would actually like to focus more towards. Like I would like to grab a C8. I would like to grab those cars because no matter where you put them in Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, those would do well. Now the benefit is when you stick to a city and then you figure out the little niche in that city. Like my
Mhm.
niche is that that CLA 250 I have, and then also that Porsche truck. For some
Yeah.
reason, I just have that little niche down, and it prints. But for
Facts.
Dallas, it may be different. For
That's what
Houston, it
I
may
tell
be
people,
different.
bro.
Yep.
You have to test out the market, but the best way to test out a market is to get joint ventures. Let's say for my Porsche, I had a Porsche. I forgot. It was a Macan. It was a Porsche
Macan, that's what I
Macan,
have. Yep.
right? It was a Porsche Macan. It was doing pretty good. It was a joint ventures car. Somebody already had the car as just a general daily driver. So I was like, hey, let's try to, put that on the fleet. Let's see how it goes. If it does bad, I'll give you the car back. If it does good, you can keep it on the fleet, right? The
Mm-hmm.
car actually did pretty decent. So it's like that's just how you test the market. I always like testing market with joint venture cars. I don't tell somebody go get a Porsche and then bring it to the fleet unless I know it's going to do good, right? So I did have a Macan. I will say that. I said not no Porsches, but Porsche that Macan did actually decent. So yeah, that's a good
And
way to test
another
the market.
Yep. And another one of the weird cheat codes I found was, and the way I like to test, right? Because I only work with two joint venture partners, and they're two really good investors. They have tons of capital, and they believe in me. They believe in my system. So I keep it
Yep.
small on the joint venture side. But what we do for fun, and I say for fun because it really allows us to test, is we'll actually pre-throw the ads up. So if we notice we're getting more people wanting, like this is exactly how we got into our trucks, right? We threw my one of my joint venture investors. He was like, "Hey guys, like man, this dealership's throwing a really good deal on this truck. Like, do you guys think trucks will do good?" And when I thought to myself, I was like, man, there's always people who need to move out of dorms. There's always people who need to move out of apartments. There's always people who need to move stuff back and forth. So maybe a truck would do well. So what we did
Right.
is we actually threw the ad up prior to even having the
Before getting
vehicle
it.
to
Facts.
see what we came in. Sure enough, within 1 week we got 25 hits. So that's how we
Right.
knew, you know what? Let's go grab a
Get a
truck.
truck.
And then now we had an influx of leads to where the moment we took it off the dealership lot, within
Mhm.
3 hours we had it already on the road. And
Yep.
then that one started printing, our F-150 started printing, and we were like, you know what? We noticed there's a group of people within the truck category who can't spend the F-150 price. So let's go ahead and
Right.
get a little fleet truck. We got a little like old U-Haul truck. Sure enough,
Mhm.
that one started printing. And so
Yep.
now, actually, this morning, I was just on the phone with my joint venture partner. Now we're going to go up. Now we're going to get a nicer truck for the people who want something a little nicer. So that's how we stumbled into that niche. But it really just took a little bit of, hey, let's throw this ad up and let's just see how it does.
Yep, yep. When a lot of people join, like when a lot of students join the program, I actually tell them to use my pictures as like a broker, not a broker method, but a way to build their social media,
Build their
right?
social media.
So
Yep.
it's pretty much the same thing. Like they will, doesn't matter what city they're in, they go inside of the broker group chat. You've seen it like
Yep.
that small group chat, the Houston one. But
Mm-hmm.
people would just drop their cars in there, and then students will come in, take those pictures, and use them and promote them as if they're their cars, and then just
And it's
broker them to the other rental
yep.
car companies in
Yep.
the city, and just a way to start making money, right? So
Absolutely. It's
yeah,
super
man.
easy because, like I said, there's always people who want those cars. And like and like you said, if you just want to know what works, and just throw it up, just see.
Yeah,
Stick it
you
at the
gotta test
wall.
it.
Yeah, stick it at the wall because if it sticks, it
Yeah.
sticks. If it falls, all right, you
If
move on to the
not,
next one.
yeah, you just go to the next car. Nah, so that's definitely how I get people, rolling whenever they have no clientele. You got to put up the ad first and then see how people react to it. If people react to it good, Facebook
Yep.
Marketplace or just social media in general, then go and get it. So,
Yeah.
okay, what strategies help you the most as far as what you've learned from me directly?
Yes.
What do you think the best few pieces of advice?
Yes. So the best things you have personally taught me was when I called you that one time and I was like, hey, look, it was right when I was reaching the threshold of 10 cars, right? Because
Uh-huh.
I'm starting to be stretched thin. I'm starting to have to run this car, send this invoice to this person, do this. And when you taught me that CRM that managed it all together, it was the last puzzle piece I was missing for. It was so like, if I could do it all over again, I would have
Hmm.
started there and then built off of that
And
because
then
man,
build from that.
it would have been
Yeah.
much smoother. I would have had less client drops, and man, it would have been smoother. So that was my missing puzzle piece that you personally gave me. That once I was able to build that foundation, brother, it's been up.
Yep.
It's been up from there. And then the little pieces
Yeah.
of like, hey, do insurance this way. Hey, list it this
Yeah.
way. Hey,
Yeah.
go on. I'm not gonna say, but go on this marketing platform. Go on here. Man, those little nuggets mixed with that puzzle
Hmm.
piece.
You
It
just put it all together.
connected
Nah,
everything.
facts, facts. So somebody that's watching this, they're on the edge of starting. What would you say for them like that's trying to get into the program or mentorship,
Yes.
whatever the case is?
So you have nothing to lose. You've got nothing to lose. No matter where you're at, whether you're in a 9 to 5, whether you have a business, you're talking to someone. I was doing 130K in my other business, and that was in my head. I'm like, man, this is exactly what I'm gonna stick with. This is what I'm gonna do for life. So you're talking to
Hmm.
someone who was on the fence of like, man, is this even worth my time? And I'm telling you, name another business model. I just encourage that person to do their research. Name another business model that's built on a scalable formula.
Hmm.
You won't find it. And if you
Right.
do, it'll be high investment capital. It'll be this, it'll be that. There's no reason. You got nothing to
Yeah.
lose. A lot of
Yeah.
the times, 9 out of 10 of the people watching are going to have a better credit foundation than I did. So
Yeah.
like if I was able to do it at 18 and we're talking about a kid fresh out of high school with no path, a career that was blooming but really wasn't profitable,
Yeah.
you got nothing to lose. I promise you, you got nothing to lose. That's it.
For sure. For sure. For sure. So what are your goals for the rental car business in the next 6 months?
My goal with the next rental cars is we're trying to get to 100 cars. We're trying to get to 100 cars in a warehouse by the airport. Because if we can capitalize on that warehouse by the airport, that's the last chess piece. We're done.
All right.
That's it. We package it up into a franchisable model, franchise it across the city or across the state. That's it. I
Yeah.
sit my ass on the couch.
It's
That's it.
simple. Like I said, y'all, all it is just scaling, then getting the next car. One car
That's
leads
it.
to the next, and you keep just building on top of that. All right, man. So that's it, brother. I appreciate your time for joining, giving the people some advice. And
Absolutely.
you say you're 20 now. So when was
Just
your
turned
birthday?
20. You said what?
When was your birthday?
October 6th.
Okay, I'm on September. I'm
Yeah.
September. So happy belated, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's pretty much it, bro. I'll talk to you outside of the call, and that's about it. That's all I got.